What's up? What's up? What's up? Coach Bruce is in the studio, and today I am tackling another one of ADHD's daily struggles. Um, this is something that is, you know, I was specifically dealing with this today. How often do you give out advice and then refuse to do the same in your own life? Um, I wasn't purposely, you know, creating strife for myself by not following my own advice. Like, I think I have great advice. That's why I am a life coach because I think that I've got a lot to offer people, including myself. Does that mean I always listen? Absolutely not. That's one of the biggest problems with ADHD is the executive dysfunction, the gap between the knowing in one part of your brain and the doing that happens in another part of your brain. That's what executive dysfunction boils down to. It's a separation between knowing and doing. So I've got lots of knowledge, lots of things to offer people, and it's much easier to access that knowing whenever you are giving the information freely. You're not trying to make yourself do something. So whenever I was going into this job search I've been in recently, it's been super frustrating because there's a huge market out there for jobs. I'm looking for remote work because we're going to be moving soon. I'm trying to stay flexible and fluid. I also enjoy being at home. I enjoy the opportunity to continue to make my home my office and to have the freedom to do that because I'm a motivated person who likes to work at his own pace. So that is a good fit for me. But whenever I get out there and I start looking for jobs, I was getting overwhelmed. I was still, taking some of my advice and still putting one foot in front of the other, keep trying to move towards my goal of, finding gainful employment. But there was some really good advice right in front of me that I've been ignoring. I've been talking about, my How to Life workbook and how much easier it makes decisions in your life whenever you have a foundation, whenever you have a life instruction manual. I've been saying this over and over again for like the last month. And what I realized today is that I've been trying to make this huge decision, this important decision about what I want to do next with my life. And I was not referring to my life instruction manual. I was just trying to find something that pays. That's a pretty hard description. It's so broad. All jobs pay. So that was not, I wasn't able to narrow down anything. And then, as I was uh, working on my workbook, again, trying to, like, as I've built this workbook, I built it off of a process I'd already done. So I'm trying to go back through the actual workbook and do it again as if somebody who had never done this before to make sure that it's got a good flow, make sure it makes sense to people. And, I've found myself actually doing a better job um, of defining what's in my life instruction manual. So I think that, pat myself on the back, it's really helpful. It's actually, it's helped me better than the first time I did it to write my life instruction manual. But I was starting to note that it is really, really important to me to give back, to help people, to leave the world better than I found it, to like help people grow. These are all things that I've always loved to do. I've always loved training people and coaching and instructing and doing all types of things where I use communication to help people better themselves. That has always been the best part of everything, every job that I've done. It's been the part that I enjoyed the most. It's been the part that I've been the best at. So why would I not look for a job that allows me to give back to the community, to help people be, better themselves, to use communication because I enjoy talking and enjoy using the English language to persuade and all that stuff. Why not be looking for that type of stuff? I don't know why not. I really can't give you a good reason. So if I had, followed my own advice and I had realized I had a big decision and I had pulled out my life instruction manual, my How to Life workbook, and gone through it and said, what's important to me? Okay, these are the things that are important to me. What do I want to gain from my life? These are the things I want to gain from my life. Those are my goals. Okay, what job helps me move towards that? And that just narrowed down the field immensely. So now I've got, I haven't actually started looking because I literally just stumbled on this this artifact of my own mind literally like 15 minutes ago. And so now tomorrow, that's what I'll work on, is as I'm thinking about jobs that fit me, I'm going to be using that as a template. I'm going to be looking for jobs that fit what I want to do with my life, how I want to grow, how I want to make a difference in the world. And maybe it doesn't have to pay the best, because that's initially what I was thinking, is like what's gonna allow me to be comfortable in life. And that's not really what I want. Like, comfort is not my goal. I want to make a difference. So if I can make a difference doing the coaching that I'm doing, which I do feel like I'm making a difference that way, but if I could also make a difference in the daily career I'm doing, then that would be two avenues to affect the world. And two is better than one in this situation. So that's how I'm going to look at that moving forward. And that's, clarity for me is always exciting. Clarity is options. I'm sorry, clarity is less options. And I deal with option overload, not all the time, but enough to where I know that removing some of the vastness of this process is going to make it so much easier for me to wake up and know that I have to apply for jobs. Because it's not just going to be, oh God, here I go again, trying to figure out what to even search to find the kind of job that's going to pay decent and I like the kind of stuff. I know I know the general sector I want to be in, and I know the kind of functions I want to perform. The fact that I have a really large skill set has actually been a hindrance to me, because it's like, well, I know how to video edit, and I know how to, do graphic design, and I know how to do web design, and like all these things I can list over and over again. They're all like, that's all great, but no position one is looking for somebody who can do 37 different skills. So I need to focus that down into the ones that are what I want to do. What do I want to offer somebody that they're going to be looking for? And so that's what I'm going to do moving forward. um, there was another thing I was going to address. Oh, so another, that was a quick topic. Another topic I want to move to real quick is um, letting people know. Like, just, I talked about this in my podcast a long time ago, like allowing your friends to friend you. Um, I'm using friend as an active verb, but I had a coaching client that I just started with, and we had a conversation about um, how easy it is to let ADHD, when you're making progress, you're climbing up the mountain, you're getting higher and higher, but then you have a bad day. And whereas to like a neurotypical person, that bad day would pause their progress. Okay, I'm not climbing any farther up the mountain. For an ADHD person, what often happens is that it pauses your progress and then it knocks you back a little further. And then you start to realize that you didn't make as much progress as you wanted, and you got knocked back a little further. And then so you start to beat yourself up. And then you get in this negative cyclical thought cycle, and you just keep beating yourself up more and more until you get back to the bottom of the mountain. So whenever you're ready to start back on whatever the thing was again, in days or weeks or months, you're not starting back from anywhere close to the point where you had gotten all of the leverage that you had purchased on that mountain is gone, because you've just beaten it out of yourself. And now you have to start climbing all over again, or you decide to go to a different mountain, or you decide to just stop climbing, period. um, let's stop doing that. Let's take the lost day and say, okay, not a great day, that's all right. Tomorrow will hopefully be better, and if it's not, I'm going to forgive myself for that. I'm going to give myself grace, because I know at some point I'm going to be ready to start climbing again, and I'll just pick up where I'm at. I don't have to go all the way back to the bottom. Nobody is making me start over at the beginning except for me. So anyway, sorry, that was not what I wanted to talk about. The thing, I was talking to this client about that before we had really gotten into our sessions, but he then disappeared on me for a month. And we were talking about how often he was beating himself up and he was getting to these negative thought cycles. So my first thought is like, is this dude okay? Like, I don't know him that well, but I know that I care about him, because he's offered himself to be one of my clients. So that's, you were asking for my help, and I want to help you, and I care about the people I'm helping. So then he just disappeared. He's gone for a month. I talked to him again today, literally a month later, and he'd just been spending time away in with his family in a in a different country. Is like, okay, that's great, but this is not just for me. This is for anybody who cares about you. Whenever you can been communicating with somebody and you just disappear, that doesn't make people feel good. Just saying, "Hey, I'm going out of country," like something to let some sort of message, or responding to the multiple messages I sent him. But he doesn't usually use Facebook Messenger. There's lots of different reasons, excuses. I'm not upset about it. I'm glad he's okay, but I want him to learn that there are people who care about you, and although you don't have a responsibility for their feelings, you do have a responsibility to them. Like, if you've taken on a relationship with somebody and you want to be part of that relationship, it is your responsibility to at least let them know. Like, that's the bare minimum you can do, is like, hey, I'm gonna be gone for a long time, don't worry about me. It's like bare minimum. But it's something that it's kind of beyond the realm of thought for the typical ADHD person, because it's like, this is about me. I need to take care of myself, and we forget about the people that we don't see. And I'm guilty of this as well. Is like, if I haven't seen somebody in a while, I'll think about them like briefly, and then I'll like forget to text. I've taken a much stronger stance on, whenever I think about somebody, just shooting them a text message, even if it's nonsense, so they know that I'm not dead. Um, because a lot of people appreciate that. They just want to know that you're okay. I mean, if I care about you, that's all I want to know. But that's something that is really, really important, is to communicate with people. Again, if you are struggling with communication, I think I have something that can help you. So I've talked about this before, but I feel like you're not hearing me. The ADHD, I'm sorry, the 9 steps for the ADHD dad to radically improve communication is live. The course is available. It is a great value, and it will help you immediately change the way you communicate. You will start to know yourself well enough to communicate with intention and authority, and it will make a difference in all the relationships that you have. People will start to see you in a different light, because you are representing yourself in a way that actually puts you in the forefront, in a way that you're going to learn to be comfortable with, and you're going to really start to appreciate when you start to feel it. But you have to actually do the work. And I've made it really easy, uh, really digestible content that you can do in your own time, at your own speed, and you should do it. That link is in the bio. It is available right now. You should go get it. And also, I was talking about the How to Life workbook earlier. It is such a useful tool. You should go check it out. Link also in the bio. This is great stuff. It is really, really valuable, and it does not cost very much. You should really go do this, and do it now before you need it. I mean, I think that everybody needs to improve their communication. Everybody needs a life instruction manual, but you don't realize you need it yet. I didn't realize I needed it until I was about to lose everything. I don't want anybody else to get back to that point. Don't wait until you're on the edge of losing your whole life before you realize, maybe I should have a plan for how I operate my life. Do it now. That is all for me today. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Be yourself, love yourself.